1998 Chrysler Town & Country, and I put a 1.9 liter Volkswagen turbo diesel in it. This is out of a 1998 Jetta. It's been a project I started 2007 when I acquired the engine, and a few months later I acquired the van with a dead engine. I put the two together, and here we have a 40 mile per gallon minivan. I used the Volkswagen 5-speed transmission. I'll show you the inside in just a minute. Custom-made motor mounts. I've got 3 of them. One of them's a little sloppy, so it likes to rattle a little bit when it idles, but otherwise it's pretty decently quiet inside, especially for being a diesel. My rat's nest of a wiring job is actually pretty decent, although it looks bad. I still don't have the temperature sensor for the cooling fans hooked up yet, and I also don't have air conditioning hooked up yet. As you can see, I've got a Chrysler piece hanging here that needs to be adapted to the Volkswagen pump. And what else? Cruise control works. Glow plug circuitry, of course, works. The glow plug in the coolant line is working. This is my clutch reservoir for the clutch fluid. Like I said, it has a 5-speed out of the Volkswagen, so I had to put a clutch in there. And so again, a 1998 Chrysler Town & Country in my not so neat and tidy garage here. We're getting ready to leave for Texas. It's about an 800 mile trip. So stick around for take 2 and I'll show you the interior. So, as promised, we're going to take a step inside the interior of the van. 1998 Town & Country LXI. This baby has every option I have ever seen in a minivan. Check it out. We got the keyless entry with memory seats, memory mirrors, and according to which key fob activates the doors. We've got heated leather seats. I know this one's kind of cracked. We've got the built-in trip computer, garage door opener, leather wrapped steering wheel, wood trim finish, dual climate control. Those are all pretty standard, but the auto dimming exterior driver's mirror is kind of a rare option. And then of course we've got the auto dimming interior mirror. Well, enough about the chassis. You're here to take a look at the Frankendiesel version. And so I've got the clutch pedal set up in here. This was it's one of the more difficult aspects of the job. And this might start to get a little blurry here, but you can see my clutch master cylinder here is mounted vertically. When I activate the clutch pedal, and that lever comes down. Now this is out of a 1983-ish BMW 5 Series, where they had the clutch master mounted in the interior. And I found that and the pedal assembly, and it also came with the brake assembly, and I took the two apart, and I took out the Chrysler brake mounting bracket, which wasn't an easy job, and pieced the two together. You can see there's the VW shaft that goes through here. I drilled those holes and put the shaft in for the pivot point of the clutch. And yeah, it squeaks a little bit, but it seems to work fine. I've put about 3,000 miles on the van so far, and mixed town city driving is getting me 38 miles to the gallon, and then out on the highway it's somewhere between 40 and 42 miles per gallon. Horsepower wise, the engine is only rated at 110, I believe. It's either 100 or 110 horsepower, but it's that low end torque that really gets the van going. So yeah, you notice a little bit of power loss, but it's not a slouch. It still takes the van up to, gosh, what have I had it up to? 80, 85. Anyway, here's the accelerator pedal. This is a drive-by-wire system, of course, as some of you know, and we're just moving a potentiometer up there. This is from the 98 VW, and I adapted it. Now, it's not the best. You see it's kind of an awkward position. Your foot really wants to be right about here, but it's down here. So I have plans to try to shorten this, move this pedal up the shaft, and then maybe shorten the length between this pivot point and the pot. up there. We'll see if we can get it to drive a little bit better. But hey, it works. It's got a work count. With cruise control, we don't really care at this point for a several 100-mile trip. My light here. And here is the shifter assembly. This one was a junkyard find. It was laying in the junkyard in front of a Volkswagen Beetle. So I have no idea what kind of Beetle it is. I don't think it's a TDI, but anyway, it connected up to the TDI gearbox, and I had to make an extension when my wife was expecting. She had to sit so far back that she couldn't get the thing to shift up in the upper gears, first, third, and fifth. So I made an extension, and it's like driving a grain truck. I mean, this thing's pretty ridiculous. We got a throw of like 2 feet, shunk all the way to the back seat, shunk all the way to the dash. So, shorten that up. This is just aesthetics. Like I said, it's got to work counts. It works. And then I want to build a cover over the shifter assembly too. It doesn't look the best right now, but it's nice and solid. I firmed up some of the bushings. They were a little sloppy when we first had it, and it was hard to find first gear and reverse. Anyway. So, the dash cluster is mostly functional. The one thing I don't have working is the tachometer. The temperature gauge wiggles a little bit, but because the Chrysler sensor wants to swing a little bit, it needs to swing a little bit more than the Volkswagen sensor that's actually in there, it doesn't deflect the needle as much as it should. I'm hoping to put the Chrysler sensor in a custom housing underneath the hood in a T, and keep the Volkswagen in there as well, so the engine knows what temperature it is, the engine computer. And then of course the speedometer, I had to adapt the Volkswagen sensor to the Chrysler input, and I did that via Dakota Digital from my home state of South Dakota. They make this wonderful little box that takes the signal, and you just push these up-down buttons and it will dial it in to whatever you want it to read out. So I took my GPSs, I had 2 of them up on the dash, and just simply dialed it in so that all of them matched. So I called that calibrated. I don't have a glow plug light. The check engine light isn't on the VW yet. It was kind of an unusual situation. The Volkswagen OBD harness is hiding out down here in the console. Sorry about the camera. And I appear to be zooming into my camera. Sorry about that. It's amateur night. First time with my Android. There we go. So the OBD connector, I just leave him coiled up in here. And then I'm also using a Bluetooth OBD adapter. And I'm running Torque on my Android. And of course I clip up here in the dash on his little holster. And I've got a full host of telemetry data coming off of that thing. You know, you got your speed, you got your boost pressure, intake air temperature, you name it, and you can display it on Torque. It's a wonderful app. I'll just give my shameless pitch. It's free, or you can buy the fancy version if you so desire. That pretty much completes the tour of the van. Like I said, we're getting ready for a trip down to Texas here in the next couple of days, and we hope to net at least 40 miles per gallon with the whole family inside. Any questions, you can reach me at Travis_Gossman at q.com. That's the letter q.com. And thanks for looking at my Frankendiesel minivan.